If you're a philosophy student and you want to keep reading over the summer months, here's my advice. First, read what you want to read, not what you feel like you have to read. Don't consider that having a big block of time obligates you to finally read the Prima Secunda or begin the Critique of Pure Reason. Read things that you have a strong desire to read and things that you will feel good about having read when you've finished them. My second piece of advice is to read fiction. Ideally, read novels. I think there's a nice balance to be struck between reading philosophy during the school year and then reading novels and good quality fiction during your breaks. There's a way of developing both the intellect and the emotions and the affective life and the imagination in tandem. I think reading novels also expands your horizons, gives you access to other areas of human experience, and it develops your moral imagination and this capacity for imaginative sympathy with other people and other places and times and circumstances that I think is really vital to living a good life today. As for specific novels, I can always, of course, recommend the 7 novels of Jane Austen as really first-rate. Nero Wolfe, whenever somebody asked him if he read novels, would always reply, "Yes, I've read all 7 of them," meaning that no other books are worthy of the name. But I'm sure that if you pick up Emma or Persuasion or Pride and Prejudice or Sense and Sensibility this summer, you'll be richly rewarded. If you like 20th century novels, from my own experience, I can recommend Willa Cather's novel, The Professor's House, a fairly short novel dealing with friendship and betrayal and the way that time changes us as people. Of course, Cather's novel, Death Comes for the Archbishop, is on most Catholic book lists, and it also is excellent. Both those novels containing really vivid portraits of the American Southwest and its landscape and people. If you're going to read philosophy, my recommendation is to start with things that are relatively small that you can read in a sitting or two. I think one great series in this regard is the series of short works from Josef Pieper, put out by Ignatius Press. I've got a few on my shelf. I'll show them to you. These are all really excellent and very thought-provoking, I think quite rich in their material. Abuse of Language, Abuse of Power by Josef Pieper, Only the Lover Sings, okay. Hope and History, A Brief Reader on the Virtues of the Human Heart, The End of Time, Guide to Thomas Aquinas. These are all excellent books, and I think any one of these is small enough to fit in a bag to take to the beach or read by the poolside, and will provide a great deal of good intellectual stimulation over the summer. A lot of great things to think about in Pieper. One other book that I can recommend for my own reading is A.G. Sertillanges' book, The Intellectual Life, which I think is good not only for the recommendations it makes about the life of the student, but even good in a kind of way as being a guide to the spiritual life for the intellectual. So I think I've got that on my shelf back here. That's it. So, The Intellectual Life, it's Spirit, Conditions, and Methods, translated from the French. This is really a very good little book, and if you're interested in something new that's not quite philosophy but not quite fiction, this, I think, is a very good guide to life, and I can strongly recommend it. So that's my quick advice to my students and to you about books to read over the summer for philosophy students and others. If you have any advice or questions, any additional books to recommend, please put them in the comments down below. Thanks for watching today. Goodbye.